Welcome everybody, my name is MrLlama and today I am bringing you a PvZ. This is going to be on the IPL Daybreak map, and this is going to be between FXOLeenock, our 17-year-old FXO player of course, the blue Zerg spawning up in the top right corner. He dropped to Code A, unfortunately after the 2012 GSL Season 1. But he is not a player to think lowly of or anything like that, as he has won MLG Providence 2011 and finished second place in the 2011 GSL November Code S. And spawning down here in the bottom left, we do have STLegend. This is Startail's parting, actually. He is also 17 years old, so young players here facing off, and he has advanced to the round of 8, losing to DRG in the GSL 2012 Season 1, I believe, yes. So it looks like we are going to see Parting dropping this pylon down here, and most likely going for a Forge Fast Expand. We'll have to see if he chooses to drop the Nexus first, or to drop the Forge first. He is sending the probe down to just mine those minerals, so we'll see where he's going with that, and it's actually just going to run right back up into the base, so a little bit of inefficient mining there by Parting. It looks like he maybe is doing something else, and now he realizes that his probe was sent out there, so nothing too much lost right there. In the meantime, Leenock will have to see if he decides to do anything risky like a hatch first right here, or if he does go for the typical 15 pool expand, and there it is. So he's going to be dropping down that pool at 15 and no gas along with this, as generally with the current metagame, Protoss players will be opening up with that Forge Fast Expand, so getting that gas out to get that early speed really doesn't do you too good unless you're going for some sort of all-in or something like that. So it looks like Legend is going to be going for the Nexus first. This of course will give him that economic lead, or slightly more economic advantage. However, he has to be careful, as this is a very large choke to cover right here, so he's going to have to throw down some buildings just in case Leenock does try and squeeze some lings out right here. And getting down this Forge right now, yes, so now the Forge is going to be dropping, and it looks like Leenock going to uncontestedly drop his hatch down here at his natural. A lot of times you will see the Protoss player bring the probe over here, start moving the probe around, possibly drop a pylon, then move over to the third, prevent that from going down, and just trying to be as annoying as possible. But Legend, or Parting, it looks like is not going to do that at all, and instead he is simply going to drop that Forge, drop that gateway, and no cannon has gone up yet, so these lings will be out, and if they do wish to push across the map right now, they could actually get into the base or start picking away, but it looks like he will have the ability to simply wall off with that additional pylon anyways, and the cannon now is going down, so Leenock not going to be able to actually sneak these lings in here after all. And it looks like Leenock now taking his third over here at this 21 food supply, 22 supply. That is generally a pretty good time to take it. You want to take it anywhere from 20 supply up to about 30, 32 supply, something like that. Or if you're looking at the game timer, up to about 5 minutes around there. Anything beyond that, generally your third will be coming down too late if you're trying to go for some sort of economical build, and that can actually kind of hurt you. So it looks like this will be a macro-oriented game as of now, and what Leenock really needs to keep his eye on, of course, is if he can see anything funny going on with this Overlord, but mostly he just wants to watch for these geysers over here, and that is exactly what he's doing. If you do look at that Overlord positioning, he's running over here, and you cannot be seen up on top of this unless there is some sort of observer or some sort of air right here. And so with this, he will be able to scout both of these gases and say, you know what, if I see an early gas go down or too early gas, I can expect heavy tech. If I don't see early gases, then I can expect some sort of early pressure. Those are generally things that you will just see. So it looks like Leenock now starting to spread his creep, always something good to do. He does have extra larvae if we look in the account, just one larva actually, but not too much money to be spending on those extra larvae right now, so why not drop a creep tumor and get that stuff moving out, as engaging on creep is just so vital, and something that enough Zerg players do not do and need to really start doing. At the pro level, of course, they are better at doing it, but a lot of times when I play stuff like that, even at the Masters level, I will see Zerg players try and engage off that creep and just get absolutely massacred. So wait until you can get that good surround, so you can really push up next to those Protoss units, and you can do a lot more damage. And here, it looks like the third finally has gone down. Good queen transfers here from Leenock, so he's very good with dropping his queens. He's getting that second queen already building right there, so he can pretty much inject constantly as he goes. And what we'll want to watch for right now is that 8-minute mark. That's generally a good benchmark around what supply you want to have. So at 8 minutes, you generally want to be 65 above 70 supply, and it can go all the way up to like 85 if you've already dropped a roach warren and are starting to pop roaches out. but we probably will not see that happening right now, as there is this gas that has gone down. Only this third gas, so this is indicative of just a mid-gas build, which of course could be something with a blink stalker push, could be something with a single Stargate, wouldn't be double Stargate generally. I've seen DTs off of simply having those 3 gases, so we'll have to see. And it looks like Leenock actually getting an Overlord in here to sneak around and try and scout, as it is that 720 mark, but he doesn't see anything, as all of the gateways are going down in the back of the base. So very, very sneaky play here, and I love that Legend is dropping these pylons, and you always want to have a safety pylon back here, not simply having this one pylon so that you can warp in behind, and then you just want to slowly advance the pylons forward and forward, so then you can maybe warp in a little bit closer. And it looks like Leenock not even going to be able to pick off that pylon, so some Zealots now warping in to do some early pressure. And what does Leenock have to defend this? Is his Roach worn down? Yes, it is. So he only has Lings out at the moment, but there are 8 Roaches on the way, so they will be able to start dealing with these Zealots when the time does come. More pylons are being warped in, and more units now being streamed out across the map. There are a couple sentries and a Stalker that are going to get cut out of position here, so it looks like beautiful force fields actually do go down. He may still lose this Stalker here. Yes, he will, but he's able to trap all of those Zerglings in to that corner right there, and now his sentries can simply pick away at these Lings. His Zealots can also get a nice little surround, and a lot of sentries have been warped in with those Zealots, so Leenock knows that he has to defend there. He only has 6 Roaches right now. He's going to start throwing down a Spine Crawler as well, because he does not feel like he can really defend. He's going to try and pick away at this pylon, but he needs to be careful not to get force field in there as well. And a couple force fields do go down by Legend. He's able to trap, it looks like, 2 of those Roaches for free, so actually just one of those does go down, and now Leenock is starting to build up this force that he needs to defend. A lot of sentries there, but they do not have a lot of energy. They have used up a lot of their force fields, so he's going to have to back off and wait to get a little bit more energy, so until he can get about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, until he can get about 9 force fields out of those sentries, as he does have, let's see, 8 sentries, and 2 of them already have force fields. But it looks like he's possibly just going to be backing off, as there's a counterattack coming out by Leenock. No, he's just going to try and engage in a different way, but Leenock actually able to sneak in here, so no units are back here. He's going to have to drop a warp in. Some probes already being picked off for free right here, and there is a warp in of some Stalkers, but now he's just going to simply push up into the main base. Beautiful play by Leenock, and in the meantime he's just going to continue trying to push over here and taking out these pylons, and it looks like Legend is actually going to be backing out, while Leenock still just killing off probes. How many workers has he killed? 4 workers already, and now it looks like he's going to start losing a couple of those Lings, and all of those Lings actually do go down, so able to still sneak in there, kill off 4 probes, and best of all, force his opponent to drop back. However, it looks like Legend now gearing up to take an expansion. He doesn't quite have the money yet, but he has set up that pylon there already, and he is supply blocked. Unfortunately, are there pylons on the way? Yes, there are. Protoss level 1 armor, as well as he already has that +1 attack on his units right now. And what does it look like Leenock is doing? He is getting the speed right now. He's getting +1 for his range, and he's continuing to drone. He is only at 51 drones right now, so 10 more on the way, though. That will push him up to 61 and give him a nice worker lead, give him that econ that he really needs to deal with the army here of Legend. And Legend does not really have anything that he can push out with at the moment right now. So Leenock possibly going to take another expansion. Maybe, we'll see. He does have a lot of money and a big investment into Overlord, so he gets supply blocked and says, you know what, I don't want to get supply blocked for another 5 minutes. So 7 Overlords being made, and he's going to sneak a Ling in there. He's going to scout that a third has been made. And is he going to try and push that at all? It does not look like it. It looks like he's simply going to try and just get map vision here, possibly take out this Zealot. We'll see if Legend is able to micro it back. And no, he is not, so Legend going to lose a free Zealot right there. And map control has gone back in the favor of Leenock. And now it looks like Blink is going down for our Protoss opponent, so he's going to start building up that Stalker count. He does have the 1-1, a lot of sentries with a lot of energy right there. So how much energy? They each have 3 force fields on them, times 8, 24 force fields on those sentries. That is so much. He's able to right there block in 6 free Roaches. However, he's going to still lose a couple of units, as his Zealots unfortunately are unable to push in and deal with that. So it looks like he's going to just simply back those out and start picking away at Leenock's units. I do like that engage right there by Legend. And look at Leenock's supply, only 107, and as I say, that jumps to 135. He had a ton of money banked up, and a Spire is on the way, actually, if we do look, and he's putting it at his third, so a little bit of an interesting position. He has also taken a 4th behind this, so he saw Legend's army. He said, you know what, I'm not too worried. I feel like I can deal with this right now, and I'm just going to continue to macro up at 71 drones to his opponent's 53, and he's able to take out those rocks, but at what cost? It looks like he's going to be losing 6 Roaches right there at the trade of 1 Stalker. So Not the best engage for Leenock, but beautiful, beautiful force fields once again by Legend, and now it looks like Leenock's starting to mass up the larger arm right there. He's getting some Overseers morphed in just at these bases here in case of DTs, something like that. DTs are ever so effective. And I just see so many players not even use them in these games. And if he would simply make a Dark Shrine right now, which of course that would hurt his army a little bit. And it looks like there's a slight engagement over at the third, but Legend going to be able to defend it. But so many players, I feel like if they would just make that Dark Shrine and make a couple of DTs, send one to each base, they could do so much damage. And once again, beautiful force fields able to trap all of those links. And Leenock's army is simply just unable to push in at all. He cannot push in at that third because of those force fields. And beautiful force fields once again at this natural. So this is just making it extremely difficult for Leenock. He is going to be able to see this observer. However, he'll be unable to deal with it at all. And if we look, we do see the spiked claws right here on the back. Or not claws, but I should just say spikes on the back of these roaches, so they will be able to burrow move if he gets the burrow ability, which unfortunately doesn't have. So there's going to be a slight engagement here. Unfortunately, Leenock is going to have to back out there as he does not quite have the army. So yeah, he did get tunneling claws, but he forgot to get burrow, so unfortunately that is completely useless for him right now. And mutas are on the way. How many mutas do we have out? We have 10 mutas out on the field, 2 more in production. And this gives us 14 total mutas right now, so he's going to once again try and push over here at this third, possibly. His fourth is up and running. He's got the gases, does not quite have drones on those minerals, but that's not what he's really worried about right now. He's on the 75, so he's just waiting to get more gas so he can get more mutas out right there, get that huge muta death ball, and he's going to engage and then back out, force a few force fields. Beautiful force fields, by the way, by Legend right now. And we'll have to continue to see what exactly Leenock does, as he is max right now. So he's going to push over here and try and take out this forge. That would be huge loss right there. Not going to get any of those +2 upgrades beyond that attack, which he simply has. And now he's going to simply walk into the base, and it doesn't look like Legend was able to drop a force field there on the ramp. And it looks like instead of going for the army, he's simply going to just try and focus down tech with this, as he has a lot of money banked up right now. Now he's going to start engaging the army, taking out a few of those sentries. Muta's going to continue flying around, start flying towards that third, trying to take out all of these probes. There's only one cannon here in this mineral line and one more over there along with the stalker, so he should be able to kill off a lot of these probes. Beautiful job right here by Leenock, able to hit at a lot of places at once, which really just abuses the Protoss mobility here. And there is not Storm, so he's able to actually kill off that Templar tech before Storm. So the Templar Archives did go down before Storm was finished or even started. I really wasn't able to catch that. I don't think it was actually started quite yet, but now this forces Legend to be in a very defensive position, as he's going to have to start building cannons in his mineral lines, which we do see some pylons going down now, so he can get cannons back there. There is not any cannons over there, and there's the Templar Archives right there, now warping in Psionic Storm. And these mutas just going to continue to be a little bit of harass back here, while Baneling's now being morphed in and cancelled, actually, at the front of the base for Leenock. So what is Leenock going to do? How is he going to transition? He is throwing down an infestation pit here, so we'll have to see if he tries to move into quick hive tech, something like that. He is on the 4 bases, so you can support hive tech off of 4 base with the 8 geysers right there mining. And we'll have to see if he goes for a move like that, or if he's simply going to go into infestor play, get that pathogen glands, and just try and add infestors to his group here. A lot of mutas out on the field. How many mutas does he have? 29 mutas out right now. And does Legend have enough to deal with this? He does have the Templar, so if he could get huge storms off, that could be a complete game changer right here. And it looks like there's going to be an engagement over here at the third. In the meantime, the Muta's going to be attacking in the base, and possibly some units attacking in this middle here. No, they're not, but he's still going to engage over here anyways, with all these Mutas taking out the Stalkers so quickly. Finally, a blink comes in, and is he going to continue to engage? It looks like he is. I'm not quite sure about this, and now he's finally going to back off, but at what cost? He lost 7 Mutas right there, it looks like, and now he's going to once again try and push up here and take out these free Archons that are being morphed in. So he's going to lose 1 Archon, 2 Archons, and all 3 of those Archons do go down, and there was no storm that came out of any of those Templar, even though they did have the energy for it. So I feel like that was a little bit of a blunder by Legend right here, and will Leenock be able to take advantage of this? He does have a lot of Mutas. There are some Lings on the ground, but I think that there are still enough Stalkers right here. They do have the +2 versus just the +1 of our Zerg opponent there on those flyer upgrades. Flyer attack, Glaive Worm. What is the name of it? It's at that third there. Flyer attacks. Okay, yeah, so simply the flyer attacks. Now he's going to push in over here at the third, but he may have to back off as there are some Templar right there. Still no storms do go down. He's a very aggressive, pushes right through the cannon and attacks the Templar, able to snipe off both of those Templar. So he has just done a great job of sniping all of those gas-intensive units that do counter his Mutalisk right there. And continuing to fly out, he has left STLegend simply on those 3 bases. He's mined out of 1 already, so he's going to be down to 2 bases, and Legend's going to have to do something here. He's going to have to do get some way to push out, as a 5th base has already been taken here by FXOLeenock, so Baneling's now being morphed in. And is there a hive at all? Yes, there is. A Greater Spire already going down, so I did miss the hive, but the Greater Spire now has gone down, and he's going to try and once again engage in multiple positions, sending into this natural, then sending back at the third while all of these units do move around. So while all of Legend's army is stuck here at the third, is he going to be able to pick off this 3rd base of Legend? It's going to be very, very close. The Roaches are going to focus it down, and it looks like he's actually going to be able to get it, so this could be huge if he snipes it. Why is he not attacking? He's going to let it go. So a huge mistake there by Leenock. I feel like he unintentionally just moved his units back about 3 or 4 times, and this is going to let the Nexus stand with simply 108 health. That was a huge mistake for Leenock. If he could have taken out that 3rd, that would have ruined the economy for Legend, but he lets Legend have it. Legend now going to start taking a 4th right here, and it's going to be very, very scary. However, there is a Greater Spire that has finished. Broodlord's going to be out on the way, and is there any chance of a Stargate going down? No, there is not. A Stargate has not even gone down yet, so he cannot even start a fleet beacon to work towards a mothership, and 7 Broodlords are being warped in right here, and this is going to now be very difficult for Legend to hold, as he really does not have the unit composition. I do like the Warp Prism, though. With the Zealots being morphed in, he'll be able to pick off this 5th hatch right here if there's not a fast enough reaction by Leenock, and it's going to be very close. Leenock now sending the units possibly. No, he is not, so he's taking too long. There we go, he's now sending the units. Looks like these Zealots actually going to start focusing at these drones instead of the hatch, so I'm not quite sure I like that decision. Now he's just going to simply be losing all of these Zealots right here. Not too much damage done. I think he was able to kill off a few drones, maybe 5 or 6, but I don't think that was cost efficient at all. And how many Broodlords do we have out on the map? 10 Broodlords out on the map, and they are now going to start pushing. However, a 5th base also being taken here for STLegend, so he is being very, very greedy with his macro. He knows he needs to expand those. He is almost mined out of his natural as well, so he's simply sitting on that 1 base. He said, you know what, I have to take a 4th and a 5th right now, or I'm going to be losing this game, as my opponent already has his 4th and 5th bases as added on. And it looks like now Spinecrawler is going to start being added on as well for FXOLeenock, as he is maxed out and he does have a substantial amount of minerals right now. So the Broodlord's going to start pushing forward. Some nice storms do go off, and they're hitting a ton of those Broodlords actually. However, Queens are backing up for support right here, so they're going to be able to heal all of these units. And it looks like STLegend is simply trying to go for the counterattack, as he knows he does not have anything to really deal with these Broodlords right now. So some Blink Stalkers going to be pushing up into the natural and main right here. Huge hits by the Banelings do go down. However, Banelings do not trade that cost efficiently for Zerg, but when he is simply on those 5 bases, he can trade like that, and he just wants to clean it up as fast as he can. There are some Stalkers over here now at this 3rd. They're going to start tearing away at some drones, picking off the Queen right here, and possibly focusing down the Greater Spire. There's no units really being sent over here, just a few Mutalisks to deal with this. I'm not sure it's going to be enough. There we go, some Roaches and Banelings now are engaging, and now the Broodlord's going to start pushing out across the map. However, the Queens are too far back, so they cannot transfuse at this point, and if there are huge storms that do go down right now, it could be deadly. And it looks like 1 storm does go down, 2 storms go down, and they do a lot of damage, and if he gets any more storms, a couple more storms that there could have been huge. He's just going to storm the Broodlings, though, unfortunately. And now it looks like Legend trying to push over here at the natural. He's not going to be able to do too much. Some Infestors are out now, so they're able to get a decent Fungi right there. And the Broodlord's also pushing over there, so they're going to once again force Legend back. And Legend is in a very difficult position. Does he have a Stargate down? Yes, he does. Is the Mothership on the way yet? No, it is not at all. So he is yet to make that Mothership. However, he can whenever he is ready to. He has the money, and he's just going to go ahead and morph in some more Stalkers. And now the Mothership is started, so 3 minutes almost for that to finish. He's going to be able to pick off all of these Queens, though, and that Infestor. Some Roaches going to come in here and start to clean this up, so doing a nice job. The Broodlords, however, are already at the 5th base right here of STLegend, so they're going to tear away at this, and Broodling's doing so much damage right there, and he does have the +1, and does he have any melee upgrades? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. +2 right there, so Immortal's now going down, and he's just going to simply try and counterattack once again with all of these Roaches. I'm not quite sure about this at this point. as a lot of spine crawlers are over here, and there is still a lot of units in production right now for FXOLeenock, so he's going to be able to get some units over here and defend against this pretty well. And it looks like now the Broodlord's going to push over towards this third base. Does he even know that a fifth base exists? No, he does not, so unfortunately he is going to be losing his base as well. And it looks like Legend actually being pretty cost effective. There are a lot of kills on all those Stalkers right there, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough as Leenock is pushing over. He's going to be sniping off this third, so that leaves Legend simply on the one mining base. However, he will have a mothership out. There will be one Void Ray out, so is there anything to really kill off that Void Ray? There's just 2 Infestors, maybe more Infestors somewhere else. So there actually are 5 Infestors and 6 Corruptors. I do not see the Corruptors anywhere, so I am guessing that they are... There we go. So there's a couple of the Corruptors right there, and now it looks like Leenock in a decent position. However, the Void Ray is now charging up on these Broodlords. He's just going to start picking away at them one by one. The Corruptors are making their way over there as fast as possible, but how many Broodlords will he lose? 2 have already gone down. It looks like a third going to go down as well, possibly a fourth, and finally the Corruptors do get over there, so they should be able to take out both of these Void Rays, and loses still about 4 of his Broodlords, and now Legend going to once again go for the counter, and I'm not sure that Leenock really has everything to deal with this. There is still this mining base over here for Legend, so he's going to be very close, and it looks like Leenock actually sacrificing all of his drones right there. I'm not so sure about that, and Leenock's forces are actually very, very limited right here, so it's going to be quite a close battle. I thought it was going to be a lot more in Leenock's favor right there, but Legend, with the upgrades advantage right there, was able to do so much damage and just keep working his way around, killing off drones, and all of these bases are actually mined out, but he was able to snipe off that important mining base, and now this important mining base as well for Leenock, and now it looks like Legend definitely has the upper hand. However, this army right here is such a great army composition. The Infestor Broodlord is so difficult to deal with, and basically Legend is just left with this base. This is everything that he has, as well as his tech, of course, in his main with a lot of cans right here. So we'll have to see if Leenock is going to push into the main, if he's going to scout that 5th base up there. He's sending some drones over right now. He does not have enough money to rebuild a hatch anywhere, though, so it's simply going to come down to a base race. It looks like Legend is simply picking away at all these buildings. These Blink Stalkers doing such a good job tearing away at those buildings so quickly. He only has a few extractors over here, which are being left alone, actually, so he's going to have to come back and go for those. But I think Legend may have a good shot at this if he does not engage this army and he simply stays away from it. The only thing that can be built actually by FXOLeenock is he can drop a couple of extractors here and simply try and defend this, so it may go into a draw if it really gets late enough, unless Legend would be diving. We'll have to see what exactly happens. I'm not quite sure that this is enough Stalkers to deal with that Infestor Broodlord army, and this army is simply too slow to be moving out across the map to try and deal with anything. So yes, there goes the extractor now being dropped. He's going to be picking off almost all of this tech, and Legend just going to try and drop whatever he can over here. He's making a few Archons, so just warping in whatever he can. Gets a Templar, and possibly going to be expanding over here, or now he's just long distance mining, it looks like. Or just sending probes, actually. So he's sending probes into the base, and I forgot that there is actually a mothership out right now for Legend, so it took a long time for him to get that over there. But if he uses this mothership effectively against FXOLeenock, does he have any Overseers on the map? I do not believe so. No, he does not have any Overseers right now, and he's warping in a Dark Shrine, so that could be huge right now for STLegend, as that Dark Shrine can go completely undetected, and there's nothing that Leenock can do to detect it. He does not have anything. No Spore Crawlers can be made, as he does not have an Evo Chamber. There's no lair to make an Overseer, and there's no Overseers on the map, so it's going to simply come down to FXOLeenock having to destroy his opponent, which is going to be extremely difficult, as his opponent has enough minerals to simply rebuild somewhere else. Does he have any probes spread out over there? Where did he send those probes to? There they are. So the probe's just moving along with that mothership, and so he can rebuild whenever he likes. And he's actually going to leave these 3 gateways back here. I'm not quite sure about that, and now he's going to simply push up at this 5th base. Are there any DTs out on the map yet? No, there are not. So no DTs have been warped in, as he is heavily, heavily supply blocked. So he may actually have to trade this army if he wants to get the DTs out, which would be the game winners for him. So it's going to be a very interesting battle. And now it looks like FXOLeenock going to start pushing up towards his opponent right here. Storm's going to be going down, so actually feedback's going down. Beautiful job, able to feedback 2 of those Infestors and kill them off, as they are full energy. And now here's going to be the engagement right here. These Corruptors are going to have to kill off this mothership if he wants. Beautiful Vortex goes down right there, and that drops so many of the units, and he's going to now funnel his Archons and all of his Stalkers in here, so it's going to basically come out to simply this final battle right now of these Archons and Broodlords and Infestors and everything fighting right here. And it looks like everything's going to group up as usual. He's going to drop a ton of Storms, blink his units out, and well won. GG out by FXOLeenock, so STLegend parting able to take this game in one of the best PVZs I have watched in a month at least, if not longer. So GG, my name is Mr. Llama. I hope you guys enjoyed my